So next we have Junior Lawrence Spethman. He is a junior in CAS and SMGs from Germany. He's a part of BU's new Venture Accelerator, and he also does some part-time consulting. He's going to talk to us today about some of his life experiences and how his majors kind of work together for what he wants to do for the world. So please help me welcome Lawrence Spethman.
Hi guys. Good to be here. So my name is Lawrence, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my organization and entrepreneurship, things like that. Our Twitter handle is up there, and our name as well, so look us up. We have a website. So I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs. Back in Germany, my grandfather started our family tea business, and my dad actually wound up becoming the CEO of that firm, and he's currently running it. So I've seen how a company can transform a community while still delivering value to its customers. And being in Boston, moving here 2 years ago, has really opened my eyes to the amazing world of entrepreneurship and all the possibilities that it has. And I'm here to share some of my experiences in my time that I've had here with all of you. So here it is. Who here is interested in startups? Okay, so I guess some people did watch The Social Network. So 75% of the population actually can invent new products or services because they believe that they can. That means only 25% of the population actually has the predisposed mindset to become an entrepreneur. So when you go on to think about the number of people that actually take the risk and are brave enough to execute their idea, that number probably is a lot smaller than you would think. So how can we expand those 25%? Well, I would like to begin by talking a little bit about what might make a good entrepreneur. So, what is it? Is it money? Could be the Facebook-esque idea. But I think it's something else. I think it's passion. One thing that I've been told time and time again by several entrepreneurs, by my parents, is that passion for an idea or for a field is what makes a good entrepreneur. You need to believe in your idea and your vision in order to make it reality. Only dedicated passion, and of course a little bit of healthy insanity, let's be real, is going to get you to seek out every possible option in order to figure out that last kink in your design, that last problem, that little thing that you need to figure out in order to make it work. With enough passion and confidence, you can accomplish nearly anything. Of course, there's a trade-off between believing in your idea and the flexibility to change that idea. We just heard a little bit about that. You need to be accepting of the fact that your idea may transform as you expose it to more people, more potential customers. You need to make sure you're open to change. As I've learned, especially with the Venture Accelerator, things change all the time, and you need to sort of stay up to date with that. On Wednesday, at our Boston University Venture Accelerator launch event, Katie Ray, the managing director of Techstars, said something that actually really stuck with me. She called it CEO-ness. She defined it as the capacity to seek out advice from someone, listen to it, process it, and think about how it applies to you. More importantly, how you want to use that in your business. Something that I think is a key quality for an entrepreneur. While these things give you an idea, to be honest, there's no formula, no major, and no book that's going to teach you how to be an entrepreneur. I've read Lean Startup, but at the end of the day, you learn most of the things that you learn is by doing them, by just going and doing them. So a lot of startups fail. And that means that becoming an entrepreneur is a huge risk. But just because it's a risk doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. So I wanted to tell you a little story, but I figured Christopher Walken would actually be a lot better at it. So next video.
Two little mice fell in a bucket of cream. The first mouse quickly gave up and drowned. The second mouse wouldn't quit. He struggled so hard that eventually he turned that cream into butter and crawled out. Gentlemen, as of this moment, I am that second mouse.
That's it. I want everybody who walks out of here today to actually try and become that second mouse that struggles and goes through everything to get out of that pot of cream. The question is, how do we produce more of those second mice? Pursuing their ideas, reinventing the old, starting businesses. I think Tim Rowe is going to touch on this a little bit later. There he is. But I think the answer to creating more of those second mice is community and support. In 2012, Boston became the top city for venture capital funding per capita in the United States. So there's clearly something going on in this town that encourages entrepreneurship. Being in Boston, and especially at BU, you guys and all of us are in a prime position and location to become entrepreneurs. So my colleagues and I have actually been executing on that a little bit. So we've been building an accelerator here at BU, I mentioned this, that basically helps BU students and alumni build their ideas into startups by supplying them with mentoring and prototyping resources. However, one of the other key goals is uniting those with ideas and those with the skills and the resources to build these ideas. By investing in each other, more specifically each other's ideas, we can not only motivate people, but share the load of problems that encounter us as entrepreneurs. By supporting one another and pairing the skilled with the idea generators, we can not only learn, but tackle the problems of tomorrow's world more effectively. Fact of the matter is that we know what problems need solving, and that we need to find solutions to these problems. Here's an inspiring example of a solution to limited power in developing countries, just as something to think about. It's called the socket. Sorry. Okay, so there's a missing picture, but basically, the socket is a soccer ball. Looks like any other soccer ball that has a little mechanism inside that turns mechanical energy by kicking, a little demonstration, into electric energy that can be used to power a lamp, for instance. So if a kid kicks around the soccer ball for 30 minutes in the day, it can actually use the lamp that you can attach, that you can plug it directly into the soccer ball for 3 hours to read a book at night, for example. So that opens a completely new range of possibilities for children who don't have access to electricity. So it's a pretty neat idea, I thought. And so that concept has actually already been tested in South Africa, Brazil, and Mexico, countries that are very soccer strong. And the founders actually met at Harvard, something I want to add. So they were seniors, and they came up with that idea. So this is just one of the many examples of how entrepreneurship can have a real impact in people's lives, not only our lives, but the lives of people all around the globe, in different countries, in different settings. So to end this talk, I want to make some recommendations based on what I've learned, based on what I've experienced for all of you. Be passionate, because that's when you start finding things that need fixing, that you'll ultimately really care about fixing. Believe in yourself and your idea. You'd be surprised where that can get you. And then finally, struggle is good. It's hard, but it's good. And especially when we do it together, we can learn a lot.